Some people search the whole world for a hero, while I simply look across the dinner table. Ladies and gentlemen, there are many forms of wealth in life: gold, property, fame. But the richest of them all is having people who believe in you when the rest of the world is silent. For me, that wealth has always been my parents. They are not only my guardians, but my greatest supporters, the ones who fuel my dreams even before I believe in them myself. Belief is the greatest seed of success, because it is the starting point of every achievement a person will ever experience. Before a building is constructed, there is first a vision in the mind of the architect. Before a masterpiece is painted, there is a spark of imagination in the heart of the artist. In the same way, before any goal is reached, there must be belief, the quiet yet powerful conviction that I can do this. Without belief, skill remains unused, opportunities pass unnoticed, and potential stays buried. When my parents believed in me, it was as though they handed me the first tool to build my own destiny. Their belief was not just in my abilities, but in my capacity to grow, to learn, and to overcome. They made me feel that I was not defined by my mistakes, but by what I could become. That feeling lit a fire inside me. I began to try harder, aim higher, and push further, not because I was sure of winning every time, but because I had the courage to start. Belief works like a seed because it doesn't show its full power immediately. It begins quietly, almost invisibly. But with encouragement and persistence, it grows roots of confidence and branches of determination. Over time, it blossoms into visible success. Every milestone I have achieved can be traced back to that seed. My parents planted the belief that I was capable, worthy, and destined for more. And the most powerful part is this: once that seed takes root inside you, no storm of doubt or criticism can truly destroy it. It may bend in the wind, but it will always grow back stronger. Unconditional love creates unshakable courage because it gives you a safety net that nothing else in the world can replace. When you know deep in your heart that someone will stand by you no matter the outcome, you gain a rare kind of bravery, the kind that makes you step forward even when the path is uncertain. My parents' love has never been based on my grades, my trophies, or the times I made them proud in front of others. It has been steady through my failures, my bad decisions, and my clumsy attempts at figuring out life. That kind of love removes the fear of falling, because you know that if you do fall, there will always be someone to help you stand up again. This courage is different from the boldness people show when they are sure of winning. It is the courage to try when success is far from guaranteed. It is the confidence to take a risk when others might stay frozen in place. I have taken steps in life, whether applying for opportunities, speaking my mind, or chasing a dream, with the quiet assurance that no matter what happens, I will still have a home in their hearts. That assurance has given me strength in moments when doubt would have stopped me. Unconditional love also teaches you to separate your worth from your results. Many people hesitate to dream big because they fear losing the approval of others if they fail. But when you are loved without conditions, failure loses its power to shame you. You can face criticism, rejection, and setbacks with an inner calm, because you know your value is not negotiable. That is the foundation of unshakable courage, the knowledge that who you are matters more than what you achieve, and that there is a place in this world where you are always enough. Sacrifice is silent but powerful, because the greatest acts of love are often carried out without fanfare or recognition. My parents have made countless sacrifices for me, many of which I did not even notice at the time. They gave up personal comforts, postponed their own dreams, and worked through exhaustion so that I could have opportunities they never had. There were mornings when they woke up before the sun and nights when they stayed awake long after it had set, all to ensure my life was built on a foundation stronger than theirs. And yet they rarely spoke of it. They didn't keep a record of what they gave up, they simply gave. What makes these sacrifices so powerful is their quiet nature. There were no dramatic announcements, no expectations for repayment. The power lies in the fact that they were made purely out of love and commitment, not for praise. I remember moments when I asked for something small, a book, a trip, a chance to try something new, without realizing that my parents had already rearranged their priorities to make it possible. At the time, it seemed effortless. Only later did I understand the cost, and that understanding deepened my respect and gratitude for them. Sacrifice also has a multiplying effect. One act of selflessness can shape an entire future. The time they spent helping me with my studies, the money they redirected from their own needs to mine, the energy they poured into guiding me, all of it became the stepping stones toward my achievements. Even when I stumble or face challenges, I carry the quiet strength of those sacrifices with me. It reminds me that success is never a solo journey. It is built on the invisible contributions of those who choose to give without expecting anything in return. That is why such sacrifice is not only powerful, it is sacred. Discipline is love in action because it is the form of care that looks beyond the moment and focuses on who you are becoming. My parents' support was never about simply giving me whatever I wanted or making life easy. It was about shaping me into a person who could stand on my own 2 feet. Sometimes that meant saying no when I wanted a yes, or insisting that I finish what I started, even when I felt tired or discouraged. At the time, I didn't always appreciate it. It felt like restriction. But with time, I came to see that discipline was their way of protecting my future, not limiting my present. Their discipline taught me habits that became the backbone of my progress: waking up early, finishing tasks on time, speaking respectfully, and taking responsibility for my actions. These lessons were not always delivered in soft tones. Sometimes they came in the form of tough conversations or firm rules. But underneath every rule was love. They were not trying to control me, they were trying to equip me. Discipline also showed me that love is not always about comfort. Sometimes love demands that someone pushes you beyond your comfort zone so you can grow. My parents did not remove every obstacle from my path. Instead, they taught me how to face those obstacles, how to keep going when it was easier to quit. And as I grew older, I realized that their firmness was not because they enjoyed seeing me struggle, but because they believed I could handle more than I thought I could. Looking back, I see that discipline is one of the purest forms of love, because it asks for effort from both sides. It requires the giver to invest patience, consistency, and sometimes endure being misunderstood. And it requires the receiver to trust that even the hard moments are leading towards something better. In my life, that something better has been resilience, self-respect, and the ability to stand strong. All gifts my parents gave me through the discipline they practiced with such care. Encouragement during failure is more valuable than praise during success, because it is in our lowest moments that we most need to hear we still have worth. Success has a way of attracting applause from all directions. Friends, strangers, even those who once doubted you will suddenly offer their congratulations. But failure is different. It is quiet. It is heavy. It can make you question not only your abilities, but your entire path. In those moments, the world often steps back, leaving you alone with your doubts. That is when the voices that remain are the ones that truly matter. For me, those voices have always been my parents. When I have stumbled, when I have fallen short of my goals, They have never greeted me with disappointment or judgment. Instead, they have looked me in the eye and reminded me that a single failure does not define my story. Their encouragement in those times has been more than just kind words, it has been a lifeline. They didn't tell me I was perfect. They told me I was capable of learning, adapting, and trying again. That is far more powerful than empty praise, because it builds resilience rather than ego. There were times when I thought of giving up entirely. A test I didn't pass, an opportunity I missed, a plan that fell apart, moments that felt like proof I wasn't good enough. But my parents reminded me that setbacks are part of the journey, not the end of it. They showed me that every failure holds lessons, and those lessons can become stepping stones if I keep moving forward. Their faith in me during those times didn't erase the pain of failure, but it made me strong enough to face it and grow from it. Encouragement in success feels good, but encouragement in failure changes you. It builds a foundation that no amount of external praise can match. Because when you have people who can see the champion in you, even when you've lost the match, you learn to see it in yourself too. And that is when you become unstoppable. Example is the most convincing teacher because it speaks in actions, not just words, and actions are far harder to ignore. My parents could have given me endless lectures about honesty, hard work, kindness, and perseverance, but the real lessons came from watching how they lived. I saw my father wake up early every day, even when he was tired, because commitment mattered more to him than comfort. I saw my mother treat every person, from a close friend to a complete stranger, with the same respect, showing me that kindness should never be selective. These were not lessons written in a book. They were lessons written in the way they carried themselves day after day. As a child, I didn't fully realize I was learning. I thought I was simply observing life in our home. But slowly, their behaviors became part of me. When I face a difficult task, I hear the quiet reminder of my father's persistence. When I'm tempted to judge someone harshly, I remember my mother's gentleness. Their example became the compass I use to navigate my own choices. The power of example is that it leaves no room for hypocrisy. You can tell someone to be honest, but if you are dishonest yourself, your words lose their weight. My parents' consistency gave their values authority. They didn't just tell me what was right, they lived it, even when it was inconvenient or unnoticed. That authenticity made their influence lasting. Example also teaches without confrontation. Instead of pushing or forcing me into certain behaviors, their actions drew me toward them naturally. I wanted to live up to the standards they set, not because they demanded it, but because I admired the integrity and strength I saw in them. And even now, as I face the world on my own, I realize that their example was the greatest gift they could have given me, a living model of the person I strive to be. Gratitude turns support into a cycle because it transforms what you have received into something you are eager to give. My parents have poured their time, energy, and love into my life without keeping a scorecard, but the more I reflect on what they have done, the more I feel an obligation, not of burden, but of honor to carry that same spirit forward. Gratitude is not just saying thank you. It is living in a way that proves you understand the value of what was given to you. When I look at the countless ways my parents have supported me, from believing in my dreams to standing by me in my failures, I realize that I am walking on a path they helped build. That realization makes me want to build paths for others. Their sacrifices should not end with me. They should ripple outward into the lives I touch. This is how support becomes a cycle. Someone invests in you, you grow strong, and then you invest in someone else, passing along not only the help, but the hope that came with it. Gratitude also changes how you treat those who have supported you. It makes you more patient when they falter, more eager to listen when they speak, and more willing to give back in ways that matter to them. It turns moments of appreciation into a lifelong practice of respect and care. For my parents, I know I can never fully repay what they have done, but I can make their effort worth it by living with integrity, working hard, and showing the same unwavering support to others that they have shown to me. In the end, gratitude ensures that love and encouragement do not stop with one generation or one relationship. It ensures that the strength you've gained becomes someone else's safety net, that the belief you've received becomes someone else's turning point. And just like that, the support that started with two people can echo through many lives, a chain of kindness and empowerment that never breaks. So to my parents, my anchors, my cheerleaders, my guiding light, thank you for being the wind beneath my wings and the ground beneath my feet. Your belief in me is the reason I believe in myself, and to everyone listening, if you have such people in your life, honor them. If you don't, become that person for someone else, because no dream ever grows without someone willing to water it.